Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and this is my channel Plant Hooker. Now today I brought out my itty bitty baby Boston Fern. Look how pretty this guy is. He's going through a bit of a glow up, so I thought, oh, I better do a video now before he decides, oh, you think he got me growing good? Guess again, because I've had plants do that to me. Yeah. But full disclaimer, this is my second Boston Fern. My first one, I had that one for 2 years before it died, and I've had this guy for a year. Yeah. Now they have many names. Like Boston Fern is their most common. Sword Fern is another one. Wild Boston Fern, Joker's Crown Fern, Boston Bluebell Fern, Boston Sword Fern, but their Latin name is Nephrolepis exultata. I think I pronounced that right. I think. Oh. What are you doing, Gwen? Can you come out of the window? And then the lighting can be okay. Yeah. Now, these guys have been a houseplant for from what I've read, several hundred years. I'm not sure about 700, but I'd say a good few hundred years for sure. Well, at least in the 1800s when you really think about it, and that was really only maybe 200 years ago. Native to the Americas, but I think back in the day it used to be the tuber ladder fern, and I think it was only since that's what natives would call it, and I think it's only been since the 1800s it became the Boston Fern, because the term was coined by a person named John Soar, because he was sending a friend of his who lived in Boston these plants. Now they can grow terrestrially and as an epiphyte. Now terrestrially means they grow, of course, in dirt, and epiphyte means they grow on something. Epiphyte, I think, specifically means growing on another plant. Lithophyte would be growing on a rock, and these guys don't tend to grow in rocks because they prefer like forests and swampy areas. They have been found in of course, North America, like Florida, Philadelphia areas, I think. They've also been found in Northern South America, Mexico, Central America, the West Indies, Polynesia, and they've been found in Africa as well, growing in the wild. However, in Africa, though, these guys are considered to be an invasive species. So when they're, especially like South Africa, so when they're found in the wild, they have to be eradicated. And if you want one as a house pet, house plant, you have to have a permit for them. And from what I read, that there's 9 different kinds of cultivars of Boston Ferns, and I'm not exactly sure which one I have, because this was sold to me as a Boston Fern. I had bought the first one I had, that one I bought online from the Plant Collective. Don't buy from them. The site is still up. They don't sell plants anymore. You'll lose your money and you'll have to go through your credit card company to get it back. This one, I found this one at Sobeys, and I was just relieved because it's like I'd lost mine. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna try again. This time I'll make it work. And so far I have. What else? Yeah. Now, in the wild, they can be about as tall as 4 foot 11 inches, so I think it's a meter and a half. Mine is only about 8 inches tall, 20 centimeters, but they can be as wide as 8 foot 2 inches, so 250 centimeters. I forget what that is in meters. But mine is only maybe 13 inches wide, which I think is 33 centimeters. Yeah. Now, is a moisture loving plant. They are, he's definitely a higher demand for water than my Calatheas, even my medallion. Because I'll water him about once a week to every 6 days at this time of year. When I have my wood stove going, I might increase it. But this year, because I had my bathroom renovated, I had an electric heater put in there. So when the wood stove is going, I can now close my bathroom door and I can have a regulated heat in there. So hopefully the change in temperatures won't affect him too much. Because my old one, it would, and I do believe that was possibly one of the reasons why it may have failed. Well, there was numerous reasons, but it's definitely one of them. So I'll water him when he reaches a moisture meter level 6. And he's very happy with that. So far, so good. Fertilizing, I'll fertilize mine about once a month. I use the Schultz all-purpose. You can use other kinds of all-purpose. You can also use the fertilizer that's strictly for green plants. It is a high humidity plant. Like right now I'm misting him maybe once a week. When the wood stove starts going, it'll probably be like everybody else who needs high humidity. It'll be brought up to 2, depending on how well that door being closed and a regulated heat works. Maybe I might not have to mist him as much, but we'll see. I'll keep you up to date on that. You don't really need to like clean these guys. I might only clean mine once a year, and that's because of cat hair. That's the only time, like, really, the plants that I have that don't need to be cleaned, the only reason why I do clean them is because of the cat hair. Part sun, part shade. I currently have this guy in an east-facing window on the right side of the window, and he does very well with that. You can tell which side grows the most, and I do turn him around, but it seems like this side keeps coming this way. And humidity is a big factor too, which I think is part of his glow up, because my shower head is now on the same side as the window. Before it was on the other side of the room, but it was moved to this side, so he's like a foot away from the shower head, so he gets a lot of steam and mist. And with 3 people living in this household, like me and my 2 kids, so he gets quite a bit of misting, so he enjoys it. I think that might be a contributing factor to his glow up as well. Yeah. Ideal temperatures for him are between 15 and 23 degrees Celsius. And these guys prefer to be in a hardiness zone 9A. Because I'm in a 5A or /B, because I'm here in Cape Breton, he can only really go outside here between June and September if the weather's nice. My other one, I tried sticking him outside. I had put him in a shady spot, and I think that was another contribution for him going blue. But when it comes to soil and repotting these guys, you can do it once a year. I would suggest sticking only to plastic. Another contributing factor to the death of my other one was trying to find a pot for him that I liked that would match his green, but he didn't like them. He did not like terracotta, he did not like ceramic, he did not like glass, he did not like metal. Wood was okay. He seemed to be a little bit okay with a wood pot that had, I drilled holes for drainage, but then the wood started rotting and molding, and then he didn't like to be and he didn't like being uppotted so much, trying to make him happy, and so yeah, I did probably shock him one time too many, and so yeah, stick to plastic. Stick to plastic. Yeah. But the best soils for these guys are the tropical plant soil, coco coir, and peat moss. I will stick more to the coco coir because it's more sustainable than peat moss, and swamps don't need to be decimated to harvest it. Now mine, I'm trying to remember what soil I had put this guy in. I think this is my conglomerate stuff. It's a mixture of all-purpose, perlite, and orchid bark. Yeah, I just started calling it my conglomerate soil because it's a mixture of everything. Because I recycle everything. I don't like wasting soil. And if I'm putting in like old soil that was sitting for like a few years and like in a pot like him, I haven't had to change his pot since 2020. I think so. The fall of 2020 was the last time he got an up pot. So like soil like that, I would add like earthworm castings to it and other types of mediums that would like a compost to bring back the nutrients to the soil before I would add it back into my soil box or container that some of you have seen. Is sensitive to drafts. That was another contributing factor for the other guy dying, because the old window in the bathroom was a very, very drafty window. And even though he was hanging in it, you could tell which side, especially on the cold nights, okay, this side got a little too much cold, let's turn him around and kill the other side. But no, it's new bathroom, healthier plant. Now when it comes to pest, the only real pest that I've dealt with both my Boston ferns is fungus gnats. But they can be plagued by spider mites and mealybugs. I couldn't find anything about thrips bothering them, and I've never experienced thrips bothering my Boston ferns, so I'm not 100% sure on why. So, but thrips kill everything, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they do get plagued with thrips. Common problems with these guys. Of course, the number one, yellowing leaves. That is due to low humidity or low fertilizer. Black spots, however, that is a nematodes issue. Like you have nematodes in your soil. Now what nematodes are is a parasitic worm. And one of the best ways to help lessen them or get rid of them is to add like compost or like a beneficial fungus or fungal. Like I've seen other YouTubers put this things on the roots, and it's supposed to be a beneficial fungus for the plants, almost like mushroom type fungus, and that's supposed to help get rid of the nematodes and bring your plant back to normal. However, brown spots, I'll show this here in its example. I wonder if I can pull it off. Yes, I can. Like brown spots, like the leaves turning brown, like that. That is many things. Many things. That could be due to inadequate watering, inadequate soil, lack of water, lack of humidity, excess salt in the soil, poor soil, and mechanical injury. Like if you drop your plant, it can get those. If your kid hits them with a sword, it will get those. If your cats happen to eat him, he will get those. And mechanical injury, you can't help that. It's going to happen when you have contributing factors. The other things you can, like excess salts, that would be mostly if you have a softener, water softener system on your water line. So you'd probably have to use filtered water, which I do with this guy. Switch to ball water, rainwater if possible, poor soil, inadequate drainage. That would be the type of pot. Like people sometimes put these in no drainage. I only know one person who could probably grow these in no drainage, and that's another YouTuber I watch on YouTube, Unplanned Parenthood. I don't know if she has a Boston Fern though, but she's the only one that I know of that has been able to grow any plant in non-drainage and not overwater it and have it die. And the only plants I've been able to do that with are my Hypoestes, because they love that. Inadequate watering probably would be set a timer on your phone so you can remember to water them, or get a calendar system like I do and like write everything down. Lack of humidity, mist more often. Put these in your bathroom. Ferns love bathrooms. I think that's all I can think of. Yeah. No, and these are the same plastic pots that I often talk about. They're like a nursery type pot. They have the drainage holes in the bottom and a little catch plate. I'll link in the bio where you can get them, because I pretty much have a lot of my plants in these because they're very, very hard to break. I know this from personal experience. I think that's it. Yeah. So if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can give me a thumbs down. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But if you really liked the video, subscribe. And as always, live long, plant on.